Yeah, good evening, friends. Today we are going to speak about persuasion skills. How do we persuade a client in, being able to actually make a purchase decision? So when it comes to persuasion skills, there are six principles involved here. We'll start with one by one. The first principle number one is reciprocity. What do you understand by the term reciprocity? Can anybody add something? Yeah. So this is about give and take. Now, when somebody gives something to us, we naturally feel obliged to give it back to the same client, same person. This happens in any kind of relationship. It could be within the family, between friends, between families, and more so in sales. Reciprocity is something when we have given something to the prospect or a client, he starts feeling obliged to reciprocate the same whatever, same help or whatever is given. Of course, it could be in different ways. So when you look at the examples, most of our advisors, they provide a lot of services without any charges. That is, you try to help them out thinking that the person will feel obliged and he will try to give you a policy or at least give you a reference or connect you with somebody, some other customer. So this is about basically giving something, only then you can ask something. Before giving something, if you were to ask anybody, nobody is going to reciprocate. Nobody is going to, give you without getting anything. So it also happens with appreciation and gratitude. Whenever you appreciate your client or you feel grateful to him, he'll also feel happy about it. And a happy client will definitely give you a lot of repeat business and referral business. Repeat for his own sake, for his own policies, for his own family, as well as referrals. He will start canvassing on your behalf that here is one very good advisor who is giving very good support and guidance. And to give you one example, we have one very top advisor from Visakhapatnam. So he has this crazy habit of giving a ridiculously expensive gift. In the sense, whenever he is conversing with a stranger, probably it could happen in the flight or wherever the HNIs hang out. So once he builds up a rapport relationship with the new person, he hands over Rado watch or any other very expensive gift. So once the person who receives the gift, he will start feeling that, such an expensive gift, he has given it to me. So somehow I have to ensure that he also gets benefited. So that's how the cycle starts. It's not that every client is going to do that. Of course, a majority of them would feel obliged to return that favor. Taking a gift without any reason is sort of a favor. So that favor has to be given back. So this give and take and reciprocity is quite common in every walk of life. And also some of the advisors, they work on referral fee method also. Whenever any client or his customer gives him some reference which gets converted, a referral fee is given so that it's like give and take. And once the client gets a referral fee, he would want to refer more customers to this particular salesperson. So reciprocity doesn't mean it should be in the same way. That is, if I give a gift to somebody, the other person also has to give the gift back. It could be in different way. Connecting you with another very HNI prospect or potential customer. So many ways it can happen, right? So any doubts in this reciprocity? Can we move to the next slide? Yeah. So next aspect, what we have to look at is consistency. This consistency aspect is very, very important in any profession. They say, if a professional is one who is very consistent in his approach, that is, you can be very sure this person is going to do something, whatever he says. That's basically about integrity. What I say and what I do, if there is a lot of difference, people will understand that this person is not consistent in his approach. And sometimes, over-promising and under-delivering. There is no consistency. When there are some advisors or some people who would have developed this, their day-to-day activity in such a way, on a particular day, on a particular time, they'll be available in that particular area or in that particular organization. So every week, come what may, they'll ensure that they are available. And when you keep seeing somebody regularly, you start, connecting with that person, right? It could be a total stranger also. In case you are seeing that person regularly, you feel, oh, I've seen him here. Basically there is a known, factor which comes into play. So this happens only when you are consistently in front of even strangers, even, cold prospects. This is definitely going to help. And it could be also, just a smile or a wish to a particular stranger regularly. This brings in some sort of a consistency. And every human is tuned to, work with consistency, right? If somebody, says something and doesn't do that, or, one day he treats you very well and next day he doesn't even look at you, you feel that this person is not consistent. Let's not deal with him. So this consistency factor is very, very important. Next aspect, what I will be covering is social proof. Social proof is, in case I'm not able to decide, or if I'm not able to assess whether the person or the service provider or the company is good enough for me or not. In the good old days, people were asking their friends, relatives, and trying to understand whether this product is good, whether this service is good, whether this person who is giving the service is good. Nowadays, that doesn't happen, right? We hardly, speak to our friends and relatives about any of these things. So what we do is immediately, to know whether other people are also buying this, or what is the response of other people towards this particular product. We immediately look at testimonials. In most of the websites, you can see the testimonial column. And video or audio testimonial is very important. If not, at least the Google rating. That is number of people who have given a positive rating, and what is how many stars. There will be 4-star or 5-star rating, right? So that gives the satisfaction that the person whom they are going to deal with is really good, and many people have appreciated his services. So I can also go with this particular person's service or product. Any questions on this, friends? All right. The fourth important point here is about liking. Whom do we transact with? We transact with or we deal with a person whom we like, right? Only when there is liking, the conversation happens, and then the deal happens, then the discussions and the transaction happens. So when it comes to liking, it's about rapport. It's about building a rapport, and it's about finding the commonality. Have you come across many people asking you, no, you're from which place? Which is your native place? They're trying to assess if his native place and my native place is the same or near to each other. Then there will be instant bonding, right? Like they say, when some Indian meets another Indian in a foreign country, there is an immediate liking to each other because there is commonality. Here, commonality is both are Indians. So there are other ways of looking at commonality. It could be their favorite sport. It could be their favorite movie. It could be their favorite skill, or something what they do in the spare time, hobbies. So there are so many things on which there could be some commonality. So when you find out what is common, you can start talking about that. It's like, if your prospect is from Mysore and you're also from Mysore, immediately you will start talking about Mysore, how it is changing, what are the places over there, all those things, right? So then there will be some common ground for conversation, and then the bonding happens. So this is about shared positive feeling. The liking is about shared, positive feeling, and likeness creates likability. That is about likeness creating likability. When there is something in common between two people, that instantly creates a likability between the two people. And whenever we are when it comes to this liking, whenever we are trying to find the commonality, you should think about Jyotish, or a person where we go, and the first thing what Jyotish will do is he will create a kundali. Kundali will be about all the aspects about yourself. So before going to a client, how about we try to create the profile of a client, so that you will know what is it that the client is interested in, and you will have some common grounds to start the discussion, to act as an icebreaker in the beginning. So this is about making a common link for rapport, and that comes only when you have created a good profile of your prospect. And mind you, your prospects also will be very happy. They will feel that, okay, yeah, you have done good homework. You have understood so much about me. So your extra effort will definitely be appreciated. And now the next question would be, where do we get all the details about the client, about the prospect or the future prospect? Social media is the only very strong strong ground where you will get so much of information, pictures or whatever about him. If you want to look at the professional aspect, it could be in the LinkedIn, or the personal aspect would be in Facebook, Instagram, and other places. So this is how having the profile of a client will make you better prepared to answer his questions. The next principle I'll be talking about will be authority. Authority, is about, it's not the, government authority kind of authority. It's about bringing in a sense of credibility. How credible is this person? You would have seen any professional, a doctor or a dentist, they'll be displaying their qualification proof, right? in the entrance itself, they would have displayed all their qualification. So, when we see the qualification, we immediately understand that this person is having the credibility and authority to dispense the medicine. Similarly, your prospects might also ask, want to know what is the credibility what you are carrying. It could be also about, if you have authored any blogs, articles, your website, they're trying to understand how good you are in the profession, what you are working on. So this authority comes in only by any certifications. Many people are taking up, planning certifications, that is financial planning certifications, or any short training courses what you would have attended. So that will add up to your authority. So when you are saying something, your clients will realize that you already are having the knowledge and authority to say whatever you are saying. So this is the fifth principle of persuasion. And we are coming to the final one, scarcity. When do we value things? Before getting the thing or after we lose the thing, right? Similarly, the scarcity is being used in sales and marketing very, strongly. I'll give you a simple example. When you go to a, big departmental store, probably a D-Mart or any other place, there'll be a message will be going on over there. Last 2 packets of Maggi. Even though you might not have planned to buy Maggi, the moment you see last 2 packets, you start feeling, oh, what if somebody takes it? How will I? I'll not be having it. And this generally happens even in your booking websites, right? It could be your flight booking or your movie booking or, resort booking. They say only 2 rooms are available and fast filling. So this is created so that the person takes action. If something is not scarce, we will not take action towards that. So when it comes to our insurance profession, we have seen some couple of years back when the products were withdrawn, probably around 2-3 years back, LIC, we did a huge amount of business because people thought, that product is no longer be available, and they wanted to buy before the product is withdrawn. So there were various ways people were trying to create this scarcity. However, whenever there is a scarcity, people will start taking action, or else they will start, they'll keep thinking, okay, we'll decide later, we'll do it next month, next week, whatever. So this is about the 6 principles of scarcity. Next, we'll move to another very interesting, aspect. It's about the obstacles or objection. Every sale, goes through this, 5 broad objections. We can call it as MTNUT, as it is given there. No money, no time, no need or no desire, and there is no urgency to buy this. And the last one is about trust. So now we'll take one by one briefly. When you look at no money is a very classic example. Most of them will say we don't have the budget now. Probably when our salary goes up, then I'll contact you. And many people don't even say that they don't have money. They'll just keep quiet. They will not decide and tell you, whether they want to buy or they don't want to buy. So money, there's one very interesting principle called as Parkinson's law of expenses. Parkinson's law of expenses. It says that your expenses keeps increasing along with your income. So whenever there is an increase in income, your expenses also increases proportionately. It will ensure that it's like elastic. It keeps increasing. So one way of trying to convince the client is with regard to insurance, when you are there and you feel that you won't be able to pay for any life insurance plan, and all your money is being used up for your expenses. Just imagine, in your absence, will your family be able to, pay for all the expenses? What has been your existing saving? Will it be able to support the financial goals of your, children and your spouse? So you have to try to give that, perspective that no money will always be there. In spite of this, how about managing? That is, non-discretionary expenses. Try to reduce that. It could be anything like towards luxury or towards, travel or, towards any of these aspects. You can try to reduce the expenses over there and use that money for funding. Most importantly, the life risk coverage, because the death can happen anytime. And you need to protect yourself from that particular aspect. And next comes the other two financial goals of child education and retirement planning. Next would be about no time objection. I'm very busy. I'm unable to, go through your plan. Give me some time. Let me come back to you. This is a very classic example. People, say that, they don't have time to think about the plan. So next, immediately you should, tell them from the AIA principle. That is, you have to acknowledge or appreciate whatever the client has said. Immediately you can say, I appreciate that you are a busy person, and a busy person only will be able to earn good income and will be able to plan for his future. So if I may ask you, can we meet up in the weekend and take this forward? I'll help you in understanding the product or the solution what we have offered, and take you towards the goal of planning for your future finances. Something like that. Try to make him commit some particular time in order to understand the product and take the decision. Next is no need or no desire. This is also becoming very, more and more common, where many people say that I already have one policy, or, let me not bother about my family. They'll take care of themselves. This is very, very common. So this is more like a myth. If somebody says, I already have one policy, I don't want one more. You could go a little bit, probe a little bit further and appreciate him. Very good, sir. You have already planned for your future. May I know how much premium you are paying? And let me do a policy audit for you. Policy audit is trying to understand whether there is a protection gap. And once he shares the policy details with you, you can go back and say how this particular policy will not be sufficient. Next one is urgency. Yes, I understand this policy is required. This plan is good for me. Let me think about it. Let me come back to you. There is no urgency in this particular aspect. So creating urgency, it's about, talking about from the point of view of health, because any insurance plan, there are two major aspects, right? That is the age of the person. The premium depends on the age of the person and also on the health condition of the person. So age will keep increasing every year. At least he has got 1 year for the age to increase. The other aspect about the health of the person, it could be like, some ailment like cancer or diabetes. It might come suddenly without even any prior notice, right? And once the person is afflicted by any of these ailments, we may not give insurance at all. Or even if we agree, the premium rates will be quite high. There will be a lot of loading of premium. So this is one way of overcoming the no urgency objection. Last one is very, very crucial and important: no trust. Now, when somebody says, I don't trust, it could be about the company or it could be about the salesperson or the service provider. And trust could be two ways. That is personal trust and professional trust. Personal trust is, I do not trust this person with handling with my money, or rather, this person looks to be a little shady character. That is, the customer is not convinced about the credibility of this particular person. So that's one, aspect of personal trust. And the other one is about professional trust. How can I be sure that whatever advice is giving is from my best interest? This professional trust comes in only once you attend a lot of trainings, you learn a lot of new things, and then the client will start respecting you for your professional trust. Only then this particular objection would be, we would be able to overcome.